Hey everyone, this is Nathan Oxenfeld with Integral Eyesight Improvement in Asheville, North Carolina. Today's video is about something that you're probably very familiar with since you're on one right now to watch this video. Computers, and how they affect your vision, and how to peacefully coexist with computers without them negatively affecting your eyes. Before we talk about that though, I just want to thank all my new subscribers, everyone who's been finding the channel, watching the videos, trying the practices, and giving feedback and asking questions. It's been fun to interact with you and answer all your questions, and I'll probably be filming another Q&A video soon. I have an announcement about the Naked Eye book tour. More and more events keep lining up, and I'm going to add a link in the description of this video to my Eventbrite page, which is going to have a full list of all of the locations that I'll be teaching workshops and classes throughout the country. So visit that site and see if there's anything lined up in your city or somewhere nearby so that you can come out, meet me in person, and try some of these practices together. And then one last announcement is about the Naked Eye podcast, which has officially launched, and I've got 2 episodes so far, and I'm going to continue to record them before the trip and along the Naked Eye book tour. I'm going to be creating episodes, interviewing people, and uploading new episodes. So make sure you go over to iTunes, subscribe on there so that you get automatically updated. Otherwise, I'll be uploading them to my YouTube page and on SoundCloud as well, so you'll be able to find them somewhere on the internet. Now, while you're searching around on the internet for the podcast and watching these videos and whatever you use your computer for, you need to start to become a little more aware of how you're using your eyes and your entire body, really, while you're using the computer. This is a really interesting topic for me because I teach the Bates method, which is almost 100 years old now, and this isn't something that Dr. Bates had to deal with in his time. When he was alive, there was no such thing as computer vision syndrome, which now is like an official issue that a lot of people struggle with. And it's characterized by, after spending long periods of time on the computer, experiencing negative side effects like blurred vision, increased eye strain, decreased blink rate, a lot more dryness and redness and itchiness in the eyes, poor posture, decreased circulation, insomnia even, messing up with your sleep cycles. So it can lead to a lot of nasty imbalances throughout your whole body and mind. So it's really important, especially if you use the computer or your phone or your tablet or TVs a lot, whether for your work or school or just for pleasure. You really need to start to be a little more careful about how you're using your eyes while you're using the screen, because a lot of people think that the screens themselves are harmful to the eyes, which there may be some truth to that, but I think it has a lot more to do with how you use your eyes when you look at the screen and how you interact with the screen. So it's more about these habits that surround computer use. So we're going to sort of explore some of those now together. One of the main characteristics is dryness of the eyes, and that's because screens decrease your blink rate. Let's say normally you blink anywhere between 15 and 30 seconds per minute. When you look at a screen, a lot of times that drops down to very low numbers, like as low as between 1 and 5 times a minute. And so when your eyes are open longer, not getting blinked enough, the tear film and the fluid on the surface of your eye evaporates faster. So your eyes dry out a lot faster and it becomes a lot more uncomfortable. So the first tip that you want to make sure you're doing a lot more often is blinking. When you're looking at the screen, make sure you're blinking a lot more frequently. Each time you blink, you get a little tiny rest, and the eyelid cleans the surface of your eyeball and it spreads fluids around the whole surface. Now, if blinking doesn't help, try something even more, a long blink where you hold your eyes shut for 1 second, 2 seconds, maybe 3 or 5 seconds even, and then open back up. And your eyes are going to feel a lot better after just taking that little tiny mini break. Even better than that would be palming. So if your eyes are feeling dry or tired from the screen, just rest your elbows on your desk, cover your eyes with your palms, close your eyes, and hang out here until your eyes feel nice and replenished and renewed and ready to go. And there's a whole separate video on palming and how to do that you can check out as well. So those are some good ways to keep the blink rate at a normal rhythm. Another really simple way to make sure that your eyes aren't drying out and they're staying nice and lubricated is by yawning. Oh. Oh. Ooh. So hopefully you're yawning with me right now. And even just watching me yawn, it's contagious, so you might yawn too. Just by watching me. And even if you fake it, that's okay, because even if you just take in a big breath of air, you're going to start yawning for real. And you'll notice that if you yawn 3 or 4 or 5 times in a row, your eyes are really moist. And that's because your lacrimal glands produce a whole bunch of tears every time you yawn. So this is the simplest way to make sure that your eyes are nice and lubricated throughout the day. So I would encourage you to yawn a lot more, but just be mindful of where you are and what situation you're in so that you're not offending anyone, because there tends to be a social stigma attached to yawning that you're like bored or tired or uninterested. But now that you know that it's a vision practice to make your eyes healthier, you can start yawning a lot more throughout the day. Just make sure you cover your mouth and you're respectful. So those are really simple ways. Blinking, breathing with the yawning is really good. Really important to look away from your screen very often. So the screen is very bright, it's very colorful, it's changing all the time, it's flashing lights, and it's very enticing and inviting for your eyes to just, stare at the screen and not look away, because maybe other things in the room aren't as bright or aren't as interesting. But it's so important for you to build this habit. And you may have encountered this somewhere online, like the 20-20-20 rule, which is every 20 minutes you look at something at least 20 feet away for at least 20 seconds. And the reason you want to do that is because when you focus up close on the computer screen, your eyeball has to lengthen. These muscles that wrap around the top and the bottom of your eye have to tighten. So normally they're relaxed, and then to focus up close, they have to squeeze to focus on the screen. Now, if you look at your computer screen for like 3 hours at a time, when you finally look away, those muscles are still going to be holding. It's going to take them longer to release. So by taking very frequent little short breaks, by looking away, you're making sure that those muscles are staying nice and responsive and flexible. So, and even even more frequently than 20 minutes is what I do. I try every minute or so just to look at something else in the room. Even if it's just for a very short moment, you want to adjust the focal distance of your eyes as much as you can. Ideally, you can look out a window, or if you're in a small cramped space, what's really good is you can just close your eyes and picture something very far away. And even just imagining something in the distance, looking out over the ocean or at a mountain or something like that, that makes your eye go into the position of focusing far away, which is really neat. So the 20-20-20 rule is really important when you're working up close with anything, really. Computers, reading, any type of up close work, drawing, painting, writing. Your eyes do not like to be held at one position for very long at all. They like to be moving around all the time and not just be stuck at your computer screen. And what helped me establish that habit is using a timer. So I would set a timer on my watch to go off every 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 minutes. So when I heard that beep, in case I was getting working on something and getting sucked into my project or whatever, it would remind me to look up and away. So it might require you to take that measure to like set a little timer, or there's even some apps that you can have running in the background of your device that go off every so often. You can set a timer on your phone, on your tablet. So there's lots of creative ways that you can start to build that habit. And once you make it a habit, you just do it automatically all the time. It doesn't become like something you have to think about. It's just something, it's just the way you use your eyes. And just in general, keeping your eyes nice and relaxed and soft while you're looking at the computer instead of squinting or straining is going to be really important in general. So there's a lot of other little techniques or tips or tricks for working with the computer. In terms of your body, your posture, and sort of the workspace you have set up, you want to kind of take a look at that too to make sure that you're not compromising your posture, like slouching or like jutting your chin forward, kind of like reaching towards the screen. I think it's called like text neck, where your posture in your neck gets compromised from always looking down or jutting your head forward. So doing your best to have a nice upright, comfortable posture and position while you're working at the computer, and making sure there's not excess glare on your screen. Like if there's a bright light behind you or a window, sometimes it can create a glare on your screen, which can be confusing to your eyes. And also, it's advised not to work in the dark on the computer. So if all the lights are off and it's just the glow from the computer screen, that can be harmful to the eyes. And just in general, working on computers way into the night hours really messes with your sleep cycle. It prevents you from releasing melatonin to help you fall asleep. It can lead to insomnia. What I use is a software called Flux, and I'll add a link in the description of this video too, so you can download that. It's free, and it's such a good eye saver for working on the computer after the sun sets. Once the sun sets, the display of your computer, your screen, automatically starts to change tone. So the blue lights from your computer screen are what keep you up at night. So it tricks your brain into thinking that it's still daytime even though it's night. So Flux slowly decreases the blue of the screen so it starts to look a little more red, orange, yellowish. And it might take a little getting used to, and it throws off the colors a little bit of what you're working on, but it's so good for your eyes to be sort of more on that side of the spectrum instead of thinking it's still daytime, so that when you're done working on the computer at night, you can fall asleep a lot easier. So I'm probably going to go into a little more detail with computer vision syndrome in an episode of the Naked Eye podcast. We're going to get into some more of like the science of it and some studies that have been going on about it and how to prevent it and how to reverse it. But today I just wanted to just touch on it a little bit, because we all use computers, especially everybody who's watching this and subscribing to my channel. So I want to let you know that you can use screens as a way to improve your vision depending on your relationship with them and how you utilize them. So just think about it a little bit differently. Start to become a little bit more aware of how your eyes feel when you're working on the computer, and start to listen to your eyes more. If they're telling you something, listen to them. If they're telling you that they're dry, that they're tired, that they're fatigued, maybe they want to go outside, maybe they want to stand, maybe your body wants to stand up instead of sitting still for so long. Start to listen to your body, and your body will start being much happier. Your eyes will be happier once you start to listen to those messages and take better care of yourself. So I hope this helps. Certainly ask any questions if you have any more specific questions about your experiences with the computers, computer vision syndrome. And head over to the websites I mentioned earlier. Sign up for some workshops if I'm coming to your area. Otherwise, follow along with the podcast. And once again, thanks so much for watching, and happy surfing.